What is Dharma? The ubiquitous word is one of the most important concepts in Hinduism, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Many would equate Dharma with duty. However, that definition does not do justice to the full meaning of the word. Dharma encompasses several other concepts besides duty, including righteousness, moral conduct, and religion. The term dharma has its roots in the Sanskrit verbal root dri, and is literally translated to that which upholds Trita. Trita originally finds mention in the Rig Veda, and is explained as natural order or natural law. Thus, dharma can be defined as anything that upholds the natural order of the universe. As can be seen from that definition, dharma is a term that carries a lot of weight behind it. But exactly how does one uphold the principle of natural order? In order to do so, it is necessary to first cultivate moral principles that aim to not only improve the individual, but also uplift society. Chapter 6 verse 92 of the Manusmriti outlines 10 qualities that are necessary for the observance of dharma. These are priti, or perseverance, shama, or patience, dhamma, or self-control, asteya, or refrainment from theft, shauch, or purity, indriya nigraha, or the control of one's senses, dhi, or reasoning, vidya, or learning, satya, or truthfulness, and finally, akrodh, or the absence of anger. These 10 morals apply to all humans universally. However, other aspects of dharma depend on the individual, thus making everyone's dharma slightly different. According to the Vedas, every person has a mix of 3 tendencies, referred to as gunas. These include sattva, the tendency towards purity and truth, rajas, the tendency towards action and activity, and tamas, the tendency towards inaction. Together, these 3 tendencies influence a person's thoughts, behaviors, and personality. So how is one's dharma affected by their tendencies? The gunas influence one aspect of dharma, known as Varna. Varna is a fluid social structure that recognizes the difference in people's tendencies and characterizes them into 4 broad categories, based on their actions. Each of these groups has a different life path, and a different set of duties associated with it. Brahmins, or the priests, are those people in which the tendency towards righteousness and purity is strong. It is their duty to focus on understanding the Vedas, living a simple life according to the Vedic principles, and spreading that knowledge to others. Kshatriyas are traditionally warriors and rulers, and have more rajasic tendencies. Modern-day examples include statesmen, politicians, and military personnel. They are generally active and are quick to take action. As such, it is their duty to protect righteousness. Vaishyas tend to have a strong mix of sattvic and rajasic tendencies. They generally take the roles of business people, bankers, and merchants, and have a duty to meet the material needs of society without overindulging. Lastly, Shudras comprise the custodians, farmers, and other laborers. It is their duty to provide support to the activities of the other 3 Varnas. In the Purush Sukta of the Rig Veda, the different Varnas are likened to different parts of the cosmic being. Brahmins form the mouth, as they are able to relay the truth to others. Kshatriyas form the arms, which are used to defend that truth. The Vaishyas form the thighs, which are symbolic of material wealth, and the Shudras form the feet, and support the rest of the Varnas. Hence, although each Varna has different duties, each is still an equally important part of the same divinity. It is important to note that the Varna system is not the same as the caste system, and that jati, or caste, does not find mention in the Vedas. Contrary to the caste system, one's Varna is determined by his or her actions, not by birth. Thus, one aspect of dharma is determined by the manner in which one conducts their life, which in turn is influenced by their gunas, or tendencies. Additionally, the current stage of life also plays a role in determining one's dharma. A person's life is divided into 4 stages, or ashrams, each lasting roughly 20 to 25 years. The first is the brahmachari, or student stage. The Manusmriti states that this is a time of learning, during which the person focuses on acquiring knowledge and gains specialized skills based on areas of interest and performance. Once formal education is completed, the individual enters the grihastha, or householder stage, and becomes an active and contributing member of society. The 5 daily rituals, known as the Panch Mahayagnas, should be performed during this stage. This period is known as the stage of fulfillment, and the householder is free to pursue earth, material wealth, and kam, worldly pleasure, as long as it is in moderation and does not go against the 10 universal values. The next phase of life is vanaprasth, or retired life. People in this ashram contribute back to society in whatever way they can, using the spiritual, intellectual, and material wealth they have accumulated in the previous stage, while spending time furthering their own spiritual development. Sannyas is the final stage. During this time, one turns fully to the study of scripture, yoga, meditation, and worship, and strives to attain moksha, or liberation from the cycle of death and rebirth. As can be seen, each stage of life comprises of a different set of responsibilities and duties. Coupled with the Varnas and the possibility of cultivating good tendencies, it becomes clear that a person's dharma is not constant and changes with time. Also, it is important to keep in mind that both Varna and ashram are not rigid categories that everyone falls into, but serve more as a template for society to follow. For instance, it is possible for one to skip the householder stage and go directly to the sannyas stage. One such example is Siddhartha, a young Kshatriya prince who left his castle and lived his life as a sannyasi. He focused on alleviating the suffering of the poor and taught the methodology to attain peace. In doing so, he followed his svadharma, or the duties associated with fulfilling one's calling in life. Everybody has different traits and characteristics, which results in everyone choosing different life paths. A person who really enjoys learning about the sciences may dedicate their life to being a physicist, while somebody else may find fulfillment in treating the ill. Each path has different duties whose observance is essential in order to live a peaceful, balanced life. To summarize, dharma is the moral duty and conduct that one should follow in their life. It seeks to incorporate the 10 universal characteristics outlined in Manusmriti and can be described by Varna, ashram, and svadharma. Varna contains 4 categories: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and is based on an individual's actions. These actions are influenced by the gunas, or tendencies including sattva, rajas, and tamas. Ashram describes the stages of life, including the celibate student, householder, retired life, and renounced life stages. A person's svadharma is determined by the individual's natural interests and passions. The Bhagavad Gita states that it is better to follow one's own chosen path, however imperfectly, than to follow the path of somebody else. Lastly, several other aspects influence a person's dharma. Besides Varna, ashram, and svadharma, interpersonal relationships, such as a child to a parent, a husband to a wife, or a professional to a colleague, carry their own set of responsibilities. Additionally, certain knowledge and expertise, such as that a doctor might possess, may have their own moral duties involved. It is important to remember that every person is unique. Because of that, everyone's dharma is also unique. Live your life with morality, and do your dharma. Be you, be Hindu.